Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about a new comma rule. It's one you haven't heard before, and that's commas with coordinate adjectives. Okay, and I'm going to explain what coordinate adjectives are and how to figure out which adjectives are coordinate in one chart. But the basic rule is that if you have a coordinate adjective, you've got to put commas between them. Okay, whereas if they're not coordinate, you don't need to put any commas. Okay, so coordinate adjectives will pass two tests. So these are the two tests you need to go through when you're thinking of coordinate adjectives to figure out whether they need a comma. Okay, test one. If I can swap around the order of the adjectives and the sentence still makes sense, then they're coordinate. Okay, so let's look at an example. The hungry, slimy green Martian entered the classroom, grabbed Claudette, and took her to lunch at Bernie's Burger Emporium. All right, now my three adjectives, hungry, slimy, and green, I can put them in any order I want, okay? So I can say slimy, hungry, green, slimy, hungry. No matter what, still makes sense, okay? So because they can be swapped, that means that they are coordinate adjectives and I need a comma between them. And you can see there are commas between each of them here, okay? Now, second test. Really, you just need to do one of these. But if you want to make absolutely sure, you can do all of them, okay? When you insert and between the adjectives, the sentence should still make sense if they're coordinate adjectives, okay? So while writing his final exam, a pale, sweating, panicky student stared at his sentence, trying to decide if a comma was necessary between two adjectives. Hopefully you'll never be that student. Notice I could insert and between the three adjectives and the sentence will still make sense, though it's unnecessary. I could say while writing his final exam, a pale and sweating and panicky student stared at his sentence. So it doesn't stop my sentence from making sense to add the ands in. Might sound a little weird, but sentence still makes sense, okay? Either of those tests, okay, if it passes them, that means that it is a coordinate adjective, okay? Now, you're probably like, well, what do these tests not work on, all right? So let's look at trying to apply these tests to some other adjectives. So if I have the sentence, 5 flashy sports cars passed poor Jared, who rattled down the interstate in his ancient piece of junk. Okay, notice, if I swapped around the order of those adjectives, it wouldn't make sense anymore. Okay, so I could say sports, flashy, 5 cars. Doesn't really make sense. Flashy sports, 5 cars. Okay, 5 sports, flashy cars. All right, no matter what order I put it in, that's different from my original order, 5 flashy sports cars. No matter what order I put it in, it doesn't make sense, okay? If I put and in between, the sentence also kind of stops making sense. 5 and flashy and sports cars passed poor Jared. That doesn't really sound right, okay? So if it can pass those two tests, if you can swap around the adjectives or put and in between them and the sentence still makes sense, they are coordinate, they need commas. If they don't pass those tests, you don't need any commas, okay? All right, so let's do a quick practice. All right, 2 cluttered computer tables and an unmade sagging bed fill Antonio's small bedroom. All right, so I only need to worry about the comma thing when I have more than one adjective. So I'm going to look for pairs or more of adjectives, so 2 or more adjectives in a row. So I see 2 and cluttered, first of all, those are both adjectives, and computer, actually, describing tables. So I'm going to go through my test here, all right? So first of all, could I swap them around? So could I say computer, 2 cluttered tables, and have it still mean the same thing? Or cluttered 2 computer tables, right? Doesn't sound quite right. Let's check with my and. 2 and cluttered and computer tables. Again, weird, okay? So I don't need commas here. So remember, if they don't pass the test, you don't need commas. All right, so let's look at my second pair of adjectives. So I have another one here. Unmade and sagging, okay? So let's look at it. Unmade sagging bed fill Antonio's small bedroom. So I could say, let's do my first test. I could swap them, say my sagging unmade bed, right? Or I could say the unmade and sagging bed fills Antonio's small bedroom. So there, I can swap them. I can put and between them. That means we need a comma. So let's add that comma in, okay? Now, small is just by itself Okay, we could say that these two guys, we could say Antonio's was an adjective, I guess, if we want to test it out. We wouldn't say small Antonio's bedroom. That doesn't make sense. We want Antonio's small bedroom. So we can't swap them. We don't need a comma. All right, number 2. The cute, soft, frisky ferret will bite your fingers if you try to pick him up. So here I've got this string of adjectives, cute, soft, and frisky. So I want to put them through my 2 tests. All right, so first of all, can I swap them around? So could I say the frisky, soft, cute ferret or the soft, cute, frisky ferret? Both of those sound fine, so passes our first test. Now, could I put and in between them? So could I say the cute and soft and frisky ferret and have it still make sense? And yeah, sounds fine. So that means they are coordinate and they do need commas. So let's add those in. All right, let's say number 3. Michael's faded, ragged New York Jets jacket was an inappropriate choice of clothing for his second interview at SunTrust Bank. All right, let's see. So I got a few things that are describing jacket. I have faded, ragged, and New York Jets. Okay, those are all telling me the jacket. Even New York Jets sounds like it's a proper noun, but it's telling me which jacket it is. Okay, so let's test this out because it's going to be a little weird. All right, so I could say Michael's ragged, faded New York Jet jackets. That's fine. All right, and let's try Michael's New York Jets faded, ragged jacket. That sounds weird, but I can switch the first 2 around. Okay, so let's try it with my and test. So I could say Michael's faded and ragged New York Jets jacket, and that sounds fine. What about Michael's faded and ragged and New York Jets jacket? That starts to sound weird. So it looks like maybe just my first 2 are coordinate, and this other one can't move around. It's got to stay right next to the jacket. So I'm just going to put a comma between my first 2. That was a tricky one. All right, let's look at number 4. The hot, spicy, appetizing squid eyeball stew, wow, there's a lot of words there, steamed in a bowl on the clean, shiny kitchen counter. All right, so hot, spicy, appetizing squid eyeball stew. So I have 1, 2, 3. We're going to count squid eyeball as one word. Squid eyeball, okay. 4 things modifying stew. So I want to see if I can move them around. So I could say the appetizing, spicy, hot squid eyeball stew. Okay. So definitely can move those first 3 around. If I say the squid eyeball, hot, spicy, appetizing stew, it starts to sound weird. So kind of like my New York Jets thing, I think I can't move squid eyeball, but I can move all the other descriptive words around. So I'm going to put a comma between those. All right. Clean, shiny kitchen counter. Let's test out that. So I could say clean and shiny kitchen counter. I could say shiny, clean kitchen counter. All make sense. So I'm going to put a comma between those. Okay. I want you to take a second and look at number 5. All right. And you're going to write it down correctly. So add any needed punctuation. Okay. All right. So what you should have done, we have her blue disorganized book bag, okay? So I could say her disorganized blue book bag. I could say her blue and disorganized book bag. All right, but I can't really separate book. I can't say her book blue disorganized bag. So I maybe would have put one here, but I wouldn't put one between disorganized and book because book can't move around, okay? You notice a pattern here, the ones that specifically tell me what kind of bag it is. It's a book bag. What kind of stew it is, squid eyeball. What kind of jacket it is, New York Jets. Those kind of can't move around as much. It's the regular descriptive words that we can move around. All right, we're going to do some more practice with this, but let me know if you have any questions.